Hello and welcome to the Seer 365 sessions, where we get some of our awesome partners from around the world to talk about what's going on with them and hopefully bring something of interest that you can then bring back to your partner as well. Today, I'm really excited to be bringing Yavrio back on. Many of you will know Yavrio and be partners with Yavrio, but they've got some really interesting stuff to talking about, which is outside the world of BC and actually moving into the world of F&O. So today I'm really pleased to be joined by Philip and Delphine. So I'll let them introduce themselves. So Philip, do you want to kick that off?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Richard. And hey, everyone. I'm Phil. I work as head of sales for Yavrio. Been with the company for almost 2 years now. So very excited to show you what's new.
And Delphine?
Hi, so I'm Delphine. I'm the product manager here at Yavrio, and I just oversee the whole life cycle of product from ideation to launch, and I work very closely on the design of our products.
Very cool. So should we get started then? Delphine, do you want to start talking about what you want to talk about?
Yes, of course. So thank you so much for having us today. We are really looking forward to be able just to present you our solution within D365 Finance. The agenda for the day is we're first going to start by highlighting what are the problems our customers are experiencing, so what is not working in banking integration today. And in response to this, what is the future of open banking, which we believe that Yavrio really offers, how to prevent fraud, and we're also going to have a demonstration by our Phil, and then we're going to have at the end a Q&A session where we'll be able to answer your question. So first, let's start a little bit with our customers' problems. So today we wanted to introduce ourselves a little bit differently. We didn't want us to tell you who we are and what we do, but we wanted to highlight what are the customers' issues that you might be experiencing every day. And the reason why is because those issues and those problems are really core and at the heart of our solutions. This is really our aim. This is why we do what we do, and we really believe that we offer a solution for them. So the first one is manual bank access. So we need to understand that the moment you have an ERP system, you're doing financial processes on it, and you don't have access to live banking data, there's going to be a lot of manual steps that need to take place for you to complete them. And that is very time consuming. So 87% of finance professionals work overtime to finish their month ends, and we believe that one of those factors come from those manual processes that could really be not necessary. And the second one are manual CSV files that need to be downloaded. So again, when you have your ERP system and you have your bank portal, you need to find a way to communicate those banking data into your ERP system or vice versa. And the way we do it, or what the way it's still happening today, is via CSV files. And we always joke around and laugh at our company because we think it's still unbelievable that in 2025, it is still a process that is very much in place, that is time consuming and unsecure. And 30% of business partner time could be reduced with finance automation. Again, something that we believe that we provide. And the last one is data and security concerns. So again, the moment you have your ERP system, you have your bank portal, and you're actually extracting banking data, placing somewhere, and then uploading it somewhere else, you are opening a door and a bridge for data and security concern to happen. So a quick number here, 362 billion in merchant losses from online payment fraud, which is an incredibly huge number. Again, those things, processes that are so common, have a huge impact on people's everyday life and experiences. And so legacy financial processes can be complicated, long, difficult, and also open to security risk. But we really believe that Yavrio can completely change this. So now you may be thinking, okay, so those are the issues, and you might be seeing systems in place that seem to be offering solution. And I just want to talk a little bit about the solution landscape that you might be currently seeing. And we really believe that the system actually only offer partial solutions. And there are few reasons why, and I'm just going to cover some of those grounds. So the first one is lacking automation. So current solutions are actually not future-proofed and lack true automation. So those problems that we're talking about are not still being solved. And yeah, because again, they don't have this access to live banking data. The second one is prolonged setup. So some of those solutions can take up to 6 or even more months of training and configuration to be set up and for customers to actually access them and use them, which is a huge amount of time. I mean, just before we were talking of processes, financial processes that already take time, that are time consuming. And then you have to take 6 months to learn how to use a whole new system that is supposed to be helping you to, waste less time. It doesn't make much sense. And we really believe that Yavrio, we really stand up in that. And my colleague Phil will be talking about it at the end a little bit more. Maybe to extend a little bit more as well, is a reason why the solution often takes so long to be implemented is because their system are outside the ERP system. So again, you have your financial process within your ERP that is already complex in itself. And then you have to learn a whole new system and see how to connect this whole new system with the current process that you have in place, which is just not useful. And the third one is file-based. So legacy solutions still rely on file-based method very heavily. Now, you might have some solutions that will say that they don't, but I can assure you that if they don't do it up to a certain extent. But a lot of them will still rely, again, on a file-based process, again, to communicate between your ERP and their system. And then they will call it automation because they have access to those data via file. And the last one is limited coverage. So again, maybe you find a system or solution that says, they are embedded within the ERP, they're not file-based, they have automated processes, and you might be very excited. However, I can assure you, will have a very limited bank coverage, around, I would say, around 400. I mean, at Yavrio, we are very, very proud of the bank coverage that we have. My colleague Phil will go more in depth and give you numbers and coverage, but we are incredibly proud. 400 can seem like a big number, but I can assure you, when you see the complexity of open banking and then the complexity of the different type of bank account per bank, 400 isn't a lot. And yeah, so we're losing flexibility, and we're very proud to say that, again, we go beyond that. So now I'm just going to talk a little bit about fraud prevention and how Yavrio really enables to enhance the security process for your payments, but also for bank feeds. And I'm going to talk a little bit about fraud. We don't always feel concerned about fraud. However, like we've seen the number before, it can have a real impact on a business. So I'm going to talk a little bit on here, for example, via F&O. So let's say you're on F&O and you have your payment journal. You're doing your payment lines like you always do, and then you actually download your CSV file, and then you want to upload it into your bank account portal, and then your vendor is going to receive the funds. However, if you had someone who wanted to do fraud, again, because you have this external item that just out of your ERP and that is floating around between your ERP and your bank portal, that can just give easy access to them. They can change those data. And then you're making payment not to the vendor of your choice, but to the vendor of their choice. And that is not what we want. So what would this process look like with Yavrio? So let's look at the same scenario, but with Yavrio. So you're on F&O, you have your payment journal, you're writing your payment lines, and all you need to do then is you just have to click one button to authorize this payment and then send them directly. You can see here your straight line. We are using API integration, so it means that we are in direct communication with your bank. So in a single click, we just transfer this data to the bank, and the bank is then just doing the payments like they always do. The reason why it is also so secure is even the authorization process for you to enable this payment to be done. this authorization process isn't done within us or within the ERP. You're just taken out. You are in your bank portal. You just have to use your banking credentials and just completely go through your normal process. So we don't have any access of that. Again, we just enable you almost to have just the key for you to access your bank and just do your normal processes. So I've talked a little bit about this fraud scenario regarding payments. For payments, the moment there is a file, the moment there is this item here, it can be downloaded, it can be edited, and then payments can be done the way you don't want them to be. But the same way for reconciliation. So it can go backward as well, from the bank to you, where the CSV file can be downloaded, can be changed, and all fraudulent payments can be hidden, and then it will be re-uploaded into the company's ERP as if nothing happened. So what is the big picture of Yavrio's fraud protection journey? And you've heard me say a lot, but zero files is incredibly important for us. Again, we don't use any files. You're not going to see a single file into any of our processes for bank feeds and payment, and therefore there is no risk of editing, uploading, downloading, any of that. Completely secure, because we are using API integration and therefore direct communication to the bank. The data is secure, again, because of this API integration, which means that it's the bank directly communicating to you, is the bank directly giving you those informations into your ERP system. So we're secure, and we are also live. And also fraud proof. So again, as a result of this, we are definitely secure on the side of frauds. Beyond files, I would like also just to add, we also enable some payments authorization flow that enables you just to choose who you want to have visibility on what payments, who can authorize, and who can accept this payment, which again give you another layer of visibility and just prevention as well. We are very, very excited to say that we've just recently launched onto D365 Finance. You've seen our solution into Business Central, and I'm just going to now let my colleague Phil speak and talk about our solution, how they work, and how it's going to look like.
Thanks, Delphine. So yeah, thanks so much for having us again, Richard. And yeah, very excited to demonstrate F&O. So to give you an overview, if you've not heard of the solutions that we offer, we try and solve a very simple problem. What's under the hood is pretty complicated, but we think this addresses one of the biggest pain points in a Microsoft Finance system. So our product is summarized into three areas. One is your bank feeds. The second is your automated reconciliations, and the third is your embedded payments. The effortless implementation is a feature of the former three. So with our bank feeds, we connect to thousands and thousands of bank institutions. Our coverage spans between UK, Europe, US, and Canada, as well as the Middle East. That also covers not just open banking. If you didn't know, open banking is a very specific piece of architecture that banks have used in UK and Europe, and there is some adoption further out. If you're from Canada, then beginning of 2026, they are just about to launch open banking. And if you're from the UK, you'll be pleased to know that the UK is seen as the gold standard at present when it comes to open banking solutions. But no bank is made equal, and we do have other ways to connect to the banks still without using files, and they're called treasury APIs. If you do have a bank, let's say in Hong Kong, then let us know. If they don't cover open banking to the same degree, then we can have a look at their treasury APIs and see what type of integration that we can offer there. With regards to our automated reconciliations, so that's the ability to not just get the data in, but have that data enriched and use some extra features that we have. Right now, I can say, because we're partners here, and it's a safe space, but we have we're thinking about calling this new feature Magic Bank Rec. If you can think of a better name, then let me know. But right now we're going with that name, and that's using AI to be able to run through those statements and be able to unpack some of the complexities when invoices are being paid or money is being paid out and match them against your ledger entries. And then you've got the embedded payments side of things. So we want to be the one-stop shop when it comes to your banking needs within a finance system. So that doesn't mean if just having one type of account, one type of currency account that you have connected. We want to be able to serve all types of accounts. So that means if you're from the UK and you want to make faster payments and backs, that we can make that available to you. And that's via our partnerships with the Backs Bureau. If you're from the US and then you want to make, I don't know, wires and ACH payments, we want to be able to offer that as well. And let's say you want to, I don't know, pay 10 vendors with the US and pay out USD, Swedish krona, and I don't know, Canadian dollar account from a GBP account, then we want to be able to offer that as well, combining open banking and a SWIFT, the SWIFT network via strategic partners that we have called XE. And the feature of that is the effortless implementation. So if we go to the next slide, Delphine, we have a saying that our North Star is 0. So when I say North Star 0, I mean 0 setup, 0 config, 0 training, and 0 files. We want this to be the easiest application that your clients will use within D365 Finance and BC. Well, because you're going through a lot of work just to implement the system itself. We want this, the banking and finance systems can be hard enough. Let us take the legwork out for you. So in terms of the setup, it's really easy. Getting set up, all you do at present is for F&O, you just let us know of the client that's interested. We send you the file and you can deploy the file. You'll be up and running in less than 24 hours once registering. In terms of the configuration, we're a non-agnostic app, and we take pride in that. We care about the system that you're working on, and so therefore we want to really understand it, and we want to be in the most critical areas for your banking needs. 0 training. I'm not going to harp on about the easiest app. I've said it twice already, but we're an easy app to use. All right, and then 0 files. We will always bang that drum that our North Star is going to be 0 files. That will also include not just CSV files that, import, export, but also SFTP as well. We know that not all banks are the same when it comes to capabilities of open banking APIs. That's why we have other means to connect to the banks. We don't think you should be compromising on security, especially as cyber fraud is increasing. And so we would want you to mature with your finance system in tandem with cyber fraud also maturing. So just keep that in the back of your heads. And if you want to have another call to explore that, then just let us know. If we go to the next slide, Delphine, you'll see that when we get asked a lot, what type of industries do you serve? And sometimes to their dissatisfaction, we say anyone with a bank account. And that's just because we don't try and reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to hone in on a specific niche. We're really just trying to solve the biggest pain points when it comes to banking in finance systems. So we'll work with the smallest of companies that maybe have a sub-million a year turnover up to 26. I think the largest that we've got right now on our books is 26 billion annual revenue. So as long as they have a bank account, we can definitely serve them. Just let us know, and we'll do some fact finding as to the type of level of integration that they need. If we go to the next slide. So what's in this for you? So we have quite a generous structure. So this is an example of the payments side of our proposition. So we'll have a commission on the amount of connections that have been made. And if you've used us in Business Central, that's of no surprise. We give out a commission based on the number of bank accounts connected. But something new, which has come in because different companies, they might have, some will process lots of money, and some will process not so much money. For the finance system that in question, so for F&O, typically that the money that gets sent out is quite substantially higher, and so therefore so will your commissions. So to give an example, for a business with 50 million in transactions per year, then the partner can expect to receive, just on the payments side of things, just under £6,000, and that's just going to keep stacking based on the amount of money that gets sent. This is as the product stands today, so I don't want to say too much on a recorded call, but we're also working on other products and features which could enhance that revenue as well. But let us know if you want to have a call and chat about that, because it is very exciting, something which is actually quite close to my heart. Now, if we go to the next slide, Delphine. So this is just the one pager that if you want to send out to your clients, let us know. But essentially, as I said, we're really simple. Our product is summarized into feeds, reconciliations, and payments. We want to be embedded in the finance system. We don't want you to have to keep coming out of tabs and logging into different areas just to be able to run your banking needs. And then when it comes to our credibility, if we just go to the last slide before our demo, we actually did all of our, we really care about compliance. We've got people in the company who are, I didn't know you could be really passionate about compliance, but it exists. And so they did the compliance before we even made the product. And then we built the product around the compliance piece. Consequently, that made us first the market when it comes to being ahead of the game, really. So we were the UK's first to offer a comprehensive open banking solution within D365 Business Central, and it's really paid dividends. So we're on a lot of new installs. We work with loads of different partners, and so the FCA is a very common one. The Cyber Essentials is another common question that gets asked. If you're familiar with open banking, then the PSD2 compliance is often a question that gets asked about the way data is handled, and then with regards to the ethos, the credibility piece, then we work with customers of all shapes and sizes, each with their own level of due diligence. So any questions that you have, we're more than happy to work with that client to make sure that they feel comfortable using the solution. So I think we're good on the slides. If you stop sharing your screen, Delphine, hopefully you can see.
There we go. Yeah, I think you need to restart your thing, but there we go. And Phil, I have to say, I when you're going through that, your house sounds like my house. So
brilliant. My daughter just came home from nursery, so
I honestly, I checked. That's why I checked my phone to see if my boy was without me knowing somehow or other. So
I see. Okay,
we're all in the same boat, my friend. We're all in the same boat. You're doing a good job. Whilst you're getting set up, then just from a partner perspective, so the implementation time, because I know a lot of partners, especially BC as well as F&O, but on the finance side in particular, they don't have a huge amount of excess capacity for doing additional work at the moment, right? Everybody's really busy. Resource constraints are definitely a thing in the Dynamics world. So the implementation itself that you're about to show, would that be something that you would do, or would that be something that a partner would do sort of after some training or whatever?
Sure. So at present, we can be involved in that as much or as little as you'd like. Right now, the partner will need to receive a file, and the partner will need to deploy it in their environment. But that is until we go to app source. But again, we'll be involved as much or as little as the partner would like. We get sometimes with US partners, they like to be hands-on. But yeah, understand that time constraints and everything. So
yeah, absolutely. But obviously you would give the partner training on how to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So when we sign on new partners, we go through training sessions. We have regular calls on these features and catch-ups, best practices, but also taking on, if they want to, take on some of the support pieces. So if a client experiences any issues, they don't have to go to be ping-ponged around, really. They can just go to the partner, and we would have already given them basic banking support materials that they can troubleshoot from their end.
And I guess from a new partner perspective, that kind of model where until they've got a few customers where they can justify getting a bunch of people trained on it, because clearly this is properly mission critical stuff where from a customer perspective, being able to see how much money they got is quite important. So working with you on those initial bits are good. And then as far as the actual implementation itself, how long would that typically take for a finance customer? And if you want to answer for BC, you can do as well, if there's any difference.
I'll tell you what it is currently and where we'd like to get to. So currently it is within 24 hours.
Right. Okay. So it's really short anyway.
Yeah, but we would like to get to BC level, which is 5 minutes.
Well, I think John would probably like it to be at 0. But,
yeah. Yeah,
going
exactly.
back to our true north. But yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, great. So basically, from a partner perspective, you get paid every year for this thing. That isn't going to take a lot of effort. That every customer should probably want anyway.
Exactly.
I've always loved the Yavrio thing. It seems like a massive no-brainer to me, but what do I know?
Appreciate that. Right. So if I go into my modules, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to start with connecting the bank account. So to do that, you just go into your bank card, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click on Connect to Bank, and then from there you're just going to select the country of your institution, and then from there you can scroll, or you can just filter by with what your bank is. So when Delphine was explaining that 400 might not seem like a lot of banks, resonate with that, because even within open banking, let's just take HSBC as an example. You've got HSBC Business, HSBC Net, HSBC EU Net, HSBC Kinetic, and then all the other locations outside of open banking, that is HSBC. So I've just listed 5 off of one piece of architecture. So you can see, when you think about the actual brand, there's not that many brands associated with the 400. So now you should see that I'm actually, let me go back on the. Okay, so what's happening right now, because it's showing the tab, not the full window. So apologies. But what I'm doing now is it's taken me into Modelo, and then once logged in, I'm just selecting the specific account, and then once logged in, apologies, give me one second.
I highly suggest Miss Rachel at this point, but that's just the me thing.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I think I owe Miss Rachel about 30 grand worth of
charge. I would ride for Miss Rachel. Whatever she needs is done.
And then once, so what I've done is I have associated the connection that's been found along with the bank account card. So if we link the accounts there, and then we're just going to make sure that advanced bank reconciliation is turned on. You'll see the logo here, and you'll see that it's connected. I can also see my balance that's being pulled in from the bank. So this is going to update frequently. So that way the user doesn't even have to log into their bank to see how much they've got in their account. Then if we go into bank statements, we will see what we do is we'll click on, if I click on new here, select the relevant bank, and then we get our transactions from bank. When it decides to load, there we go. Let's just pull in the past. You select the date range for when you'd like your transactions to come to and from. And if we import the transactions for, let's say, this month, we'll do the API call to Modelo, the bank we're connected to, and then Modelo will give us that information and populate it right here. And then from there, you can validate the transactions and then confirm, and then go about your standard workflows within D365 Finance. The Magic Bank Rec is coming to F&O, but we are deploying it on Business Central first. But once we've refined everything there, we'll be bringing it in very quickly. And then from there, you'll go about this. You can also bring in your transactions in via the bank reconciliation. It looks exactly the same. You just go into the relevant record, and then not this one. You go into the worksheet. Worksheet, but you'll create a new worksheet, select the relevant card, and then from there you can get your transactions again. So I won't go through the same details, but it's the same workflow to bring in those transactions in. And then for the payment module, so you'll see in the vendor payment journals.
I think maybe the line needs to be deleted before.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
It's always useful to have somebody who knows what they're doing on these calls, Phil.
Exactly.
Now, tell you what you're doing wrong. That's good.
Exactly. And then from here, the standard workflows to bring vendor payments in. Then from there, all you're going to do is make sure that the offset account is with the Yavrio connected account, and then you're going to click on send payments to bank. You'll then, similar to that connection stage, get the QR code and the link. And then when you send the payment, it opened up another tab and showed me that the transaction was successful, and that it's taken me back into F&O. And then you'll be able to see that the payment status in a real bank account. You'll then be prompted, or the CFO or the FD will be prompted to release those funds. And then when that's gone through, this payment status bar will automatically go to approved. Approved first, and then sent. Once sent, then you can go ahead and post and continue using it. But that's the summary of the first iteration of Yavrio's banking app. It's really great. It's come by popular opinion, popular requests, many requests from partners and end users inquiring in. So we're really excited. And if you have any questions, then do let us know.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of overlap between BC and F&O partners. There's
right.
So that makes sense. Hopefully your BC partners will be showing it to their F&O practices as well. But obviously typically F&O customers are a bit larger. So this is a really good fit for them as well. So obviously larger companies having more complex banking requirements typically. So really cool, man. And I know the team have been working on this for a while. So congratulations to everybody at Yavrio for doing this. So very good indeed. Was there anything that either of you would like to mention as we close things up?
Yes. What I'd like to do is it's kind of a promotion. It sounds really salesy. I mean, I am in sales, so I shouldn't.
You list that it's literally your job, so that.
It is my job. But we have an offer. So if you're partnered with, as long as you're partnered with Seer, then for the first 10 customers that you bring to us, we'll give them 20% off their first year of using Yavrio. So hopefully that should be something that you have customers for that. So I think you do, because they have bank accounts.
That's why I love you guys, because I just think it, for me, if I was an SI partner, it's kind of, do my customers have bank accounts? Yes. Are they probably going to want this functionality? most likely. Will I get money literally over time, as you said, stacking up over time? It just works. So if you're not already a Yahoo partner, I do suggest getting in contact with the guys. And if you're not, and if you are, then certainly have a look at this as well for your F&O practice. And then if they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way of doing that?
Sure. So they can either add us on LinkedIn. We're pretty active there. If I'm not working, I'm just making memes. So, and you'll see them posted on LinkedIn. But otherwise, you can contact me, which is philip.dawson at yava.io. Or if you want to get in touch with Delphine, it's delphine.erickson@yava.io.
Yeah, thanks.
Very cool. And then from an events perspective, I know I don't think you're going next week, are you, to Asia? Or you might be.
I'm not. Charlotte wins that every time. So yeah, my colleague Charlotte is going.
She's off to Bangkok next week, so very cool. Or this week, maybe. I don't know when she's traveling out, but she'll be there for directions. And then I think you guys are going to Dynamics Minds as well.
Yeah. We'll be at a few events this year. So we'll be at Dynamics Con, Dynamics Minds. We'll be at Summit, and then obviously Directions later this year.
Yeah, but don't wait till November to speak to the Yavrio team. That's way too far away. Very cool.
The offer will expire by then.
Well, I hope so. I hope it'll expire by the end of the week, to be honest. But yeah, very cool. Well, thank you both for your time. And thank you everybody who's watching this either live or recorded. If you do have any questions, you want to post them underneath this video, please do so. I know Delphine and Philip would love to answer any questions you've got. And failing that, I hope you all have a great rest of your week and enjoy the sunshine if you're in the UK. It won't last long, but it's here for a bit. And I hope to see everybody in person over the summer at some point. So have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye.